Christian, you and I are both interested in extreme longevity reports throughout history. And it has to be throughout history because if you're trying to find people who've lived longer than 120 years, it's historical. I'm aware of a case that's well documented in India of a guy who lived to 185. Have a book about it downstairs. And you have looked into a guy in China who's reported to live or to have lived for 250 years. And yeah, there's all kinds of detractors say that can't happen because it didn't. But let's assume that everyone on the planet isn't an idiot because they don't believe the same things you believe. So we're just being curious about this. What was the reported practice of this guy? Tell me about him.
So it's a fellow in China. I think his name was Li Qingyuan, at least English pronunciation of his name. Born in 1678, and I think he passed in 1933. Basically the challenge there, like you just said, it could not be true because nobody can live that long. And if it's true, then show his birth certificate. Well, go back your grandfather 10 generations ago and tell me if you can find their birth certificate. So looking back at the history, and again, like the one that you mentioned in India, tons of documentation. And when he's asked what is the secret of his longevity, there are three main things. Number one, he was using a lot of plants, and very interestingly, he was using plants like goji berry, foti, and then reishi mushroom. All three were shown to support stem cells. Goji berry, reishi support the migration of stem cells. Foti release stem cells. We did these studies years ago. We even filed a patent on it. So very interesting. It was stimulating his stem cells. Second, at 250 years, when in a meeting he's offered a chair and he refuses the chair. He's sitting down on the floor with his back straight. So he refused he walked 30 miles on that day to go to that meeting. He refused to get into a cart pulled by horses. So muscle activity, physical activity, every day of his life. And the third one, he says, have a light heart. Yeah. And that was his main comment, have a light heart. So don't worry about anything. Most of the way, it makes me think of Mark Twain when he said, I spend my entire life resolving problems that fortunately never happened. So all the stress of the stuff that we make up in our own minds that actually do not reflect reality at all, just let it go. So anyway, so that was his secrets to longevity.